Oh, there you are. I was busy enjoying the intro. I didn't even know I had been dunked in. Welcome, my friends. Today I'm going to show you Microsoft Project. The Microsoft Project everyone runs away from. I'm scared of Microsoft Project. It's going to eat me alive. I can't count how many people have told me they're scared of Microsoft Project. So I showed up today to put an end to it. Especially for those of you who are PMPs, CAPMs, any kind of project management education. By the time I'm done, yeah, you won't be scared of Microsoft Project ever again, hopefully. But you got to stay on the call. All right, let's jump straight in. Microsoft Project in 15 minutes. Just 15 minutes is all I'm asking. After 15 minutes, if I haven't delivered, drop off the call. This is going to be extremely rapid. For those of you that haven't met this guy called Phil, this character, that's him. He is a PMP and also a CSM, alphabet soup, right? Project management professional, certified scrum master, and many, many other certifications. But most importantly, I've been using Microsoft Project since 2000. And oh dear, I hate to say it because now you're going to know how old I am, but since 2003. Oh my gosh. That is 22 years old in the software. That is a long time. Some of you were not even born in '03. But I've been doing this for a while. I've done this for various organizations. I started off selling my Microsoft Project training on eBay back in the day when eBay was the site before Jeff Bezos took over back in those days. Anyway, I've trained lots of organizations worldwide in project management, in leadership for the PMP exam, and beyond. And these are some of my esteemed clients. So you're in good hands. You're in good hands. Speaking of good hands, some of you run away from Microsoft Project because you think you're not in good hands. This describes the personas that tell me, Phil, I don't want to do anything with Microsoft Project. It's scary. It's a beast. So I have the people who have to learn Microsoft Project, but they're scared. And I have the people who learn Microsoft Project the wrong way. And when they learn the right way, they're scared as well because they know all their schedules that they've done are mush. I hope today you'll discover one or two new things in scheduling. My curriculum for today is the basics of scheduling, setting up a project plan, adding tasks and milestones, linking dependencies, assigning resources if you've got enough time to do that, viewing Gantt charts and views, no fluff, just the basics. So why is this important, my friends? This is important because every project manager, every PM, every single PM, the moment you tell people I'm a project manager, you know what they're thinking. They're thinking, oh, it's that control freak. You're going to get us under control. And the control they're thinking of is pretty much the timeline, which is why people always incorrectly say, I'm building a project plan. What is a project plan? This. And they show you a Gantt chart. That's not a project plan. Those of you who are PMPs and CAPMs know a project management plan needs to have a number of dimensions: schedule, cost, scope, quality, resources, communications, risk, procurement, stakeholder, maybe even safety in some companies. So it's important to delineate scheduling from project management planning. But scheduling is part of project management planning. So that's where the confusion comes from. But why this is so important, I'm going to be biased here. This gave me my big break in project management. This was the biggest break ever. I got the opportunity to work for a company out in Phoenix, Arizona, an environmental engineering firm. And it was through Microsoft Project I got into the firm. They were looking for a scheduler. I wasn't a PMP at the time. But in that firm, I met my mentor. And she said, Phil, I think you should take the PMP. So I did take the PMP. But my roots of project management, after I got done with my master's degree, I started getting into Microsoft Project. And that's how I got into the world of PMP eventually. So it was Microsoft Project first, then PMP. Now you know why I'm so passionate about it. But it's very important because a project manager without a schedule is a disaster, a train wreck. You need the schedule. The schedule is not just helping you, it's putting everyone on the same page. So, a project manager without a schedule is like a workman with no tools. How do you tell me you're a PM and then you cannot schedule? This is the bread and butter of project management. All right, let me move on. I'm speaking to the choir. I'm sure lots of you already know this. So, I wanted to show you the basics of project management. The basics are as follows. You've got initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and controlling and closing. So there are five stages, you could say, in project management, or five groups of processes. And for scheduling, where you are most of the time is in planning and monitoring and controlling. Planning is where you build a schedule, monitoring and controlling is where you check the schedule to ensure that things are going according to plan. So this is like the holy grail of PMBOK, PMI, stuff that you already know. So when you go through the five process groups, the section that we are right now is right here in planning, in scheduling. And I'm going to show you very quickly how you can develop a schedule if you are in the planning aspect. All right. So let's go over to Microsoft Project. Get your Microsoft Project schedules open. If you don't have Microsoft Project, you might have heard of Project Libre, which is free. So Project Libre can be downloaded. A lot of what I'm doing here, if you feel, oh, Phil, I'm not able to do it, I don't have Microsoft Project, just download Libre and do exactly what I'm going to do right now. Okay. So let's jump into the Microsoft Project app. All right. So in Microsoft Project, on the home screen, you got blank project. So imagine you are in planning and you have a project to plan. The first thing you want to do in Microsoft Project, and I'm just going to show you the very, very basics. There's a lot more that happens under the hood, but we won't go there today. For now, we're just going to adjust the manually scheduled to auto schedule, right? So we're going to click auto schedule right here at the bottom. You see that? Okay, let's go full screen. So I have selected auto schedule because this is a way you can use the brain of Microsoft Project. In order to use Microsoft Project's brain fully, you got to activate auto schedule. It's like going on turbo. So now that we are in auto schedule, I'm going to show you a simple project. We want to eat cake. We want to have a great time. We want to have a birthday party of some sort. So we got to bake cake. So we're going to do a number of things. We are going to type in our schedule activities. But wait, there's actually more information I need to share with you. And in order to ensure you get the full picture of scheduling, I need to teach you PMI's arcane scheduling arts. How many of you know PMI's arcane arts? Type in all the seven processes, or the six rather, of scheduling if you know. I'm going to show you right now. There's six things you need to do as a scheduler, and I think this is really going to help those of you that haven't been here before we get into all the fun in Microsoft Project. Okay, so here we go. Six things in scheduling. And for those of you that already went to the link, schedule management, you're going to see in that handout, there's six things. Here's the first one. Number one, have a plan for your schedule. Don't just start scheduling. You must have a plan for how you're going to schedule, who's going to be involved, what is the format for the schedule, and so on. That's number one. So always plan before you schedule. Number two, define the activities. This is what I was about to do. So in defining activities, we create a list of activities. There could also be some activity attributes, leads and lags could come into the picture. I'll tell you what those are maybe at a later date. Milestones are zero duration events that signify something of significance has been accomplished. So that's there as well. The third thing is sequencing the activities, putting them in logical order of occurrence, linking the activities, and being aware of the critical path. We get project schedule network diagrams on the back end, which hardly anyone looks at these days, but they're there on the back end, showing you a graphical representation of how the activities are linked. Then we have estimate activity durations. We estimate the durations for the activities. Then the schedule is developed. But that's not the end. PMI says, go a step further. Be a fearless project manager, someone who holds the team accountable with the schedule, making schedule forecasts, updating the schedule baselines, and so on. All right. So there's six things that you need to know that a project manager does in scheduling: plan schedule management, define the activities, sequence the activities, estimate the activity durations, developing the schedule, and controlling the schedule. Okay. I know it's a lot of stuff. And I know some of you on lunchtime, you got to bookmark this and come back to it. All right. So let's come out of that and let's go back into our Microsoft project now that you understand where we're going. Okay. So this is where we're going. We are going to develop a schedule for eating cake. Like I said, we are happy, we're excited. There's a birthday of one sort or the other, or one celebration, and we got to eat cake. So we're going to do our research, the ingredients. That's task one. Okay. Remember what I'd done previously? I had already set this to auto schedule. All right. So we're going to research ingredients. Then we are going to drive to the store. We're going to buy the ingredients. We're going to mix the ingredients. We are going to turn on the oven. We are going to bake the cake. And then we're going to eat the cake. Eat the cake. And then we are going to clean up. Boom, we just got a list of activities. We call it an activity list. Some people call it a task list. But did you see what happened? The moment I typed that in, a number of things happened. We had the Gantt chart begin to appear on the right. We had some suggested start and finish dates, and we had suggested durations. Now, because I want to make this project as easy as I can, I am going to exaggerate the durations just for the demonstration, okay? But before you type anything else in, you want to establish, when is this going to happen? It may not be happening today. Maybe it's happening next week. Maybe it's already started and we're building a schedule for something that happened in the past. If that was the case, you would go to project and you click on project information and you just select the date that you want. So the start date, we could say the start date is in the future. Let's say it's on the 20th. Hit 20th, and I want you to see what happens. The moment you hit 20th, the start of the project is going to change accordingly. Take a look. Boom, it's now 20th. So assuming this started on the 20th, remember what I told you from PMI, plan schedule management, define the activities, sequence the activities. Sequencing the activities means you are putting them in the order of occurrence and you're linking them. What we're going to do right now is link all of these with a simple, what we call finish to start relationship. And there are four relationship types in scheduling. Those of you who are PMPs, you already know. CAPMs, you already know. Finish to finish, start to start, start to finish. All that stuff. It exists, right? But we're going to use a simple finish to start. And to do that, we're going to observe the line item here. This is line 1. This is line 2. Because I've already put them in logical order, I just need to link them. 1 linked to 2, linked to 3, and so on. So the predecessor of line 2 is line 1. I'm going to type in 1, and I want you to see what happens in this area on the right over here. The moment I type in 1, boom, it's linked. I type in a 2, linked, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7. Boom, I've linked them all. Now, assuming there were some other relationship types I wanted to include in this, let's say I wanted to do mix ingredients and turn on oven at the same time, I could make this turn on oven, instead of a 4, I could type in a 4 start to start. Boom, and I have a start to start relationship in there. So if you're using a start to start, it's SS. If you're using a finish to start, you just type the number in. If you're using a finish to finish, you would use an FF. So let me type in a milestone of customer happy. Okay. So customer happy is going to have a predecessor of 8. But assuming I wanted it to be a finish to finish relationship, I could say 8 finish finish. And there you see the finish to finish relationship. So this is what excites me about Microsoft Project beyond the other less glamorous alternatives. I'm trying to be polite here. Microsoft Project is the number one on the scene that gave you all four. A lot of the other scheduling tools, they don't give you finish to finish, they don't give you start to start, don't even mention start to finish, right? But Microsoft Project gives you all of them. So you can make your schedule as realistic as possible. That's what excites me about Microsoft Project, right? So right now, what have we done? We did define activities. Now we did sequence activities. We've linked them in logical order of occurrence. And I'll just say that there are many ways you can link a set of tasks. It really depends on whoever is scheduling. So, based on your experience and based on what you can do in the tool, you may choose to do things a certain way. All right. Now, I want you to observe there's certain rules in Microsoft Project. There's certain do's and don'ts, and I am going to have to teach you. I know I hear people groaning already. More rules. Yeah, I got to teach you more rules. So let me teach you the rules of the game. Seven rules. Seven things you want to do and seven things you don't want to do in Microsoft Project. Are you ready? All right, let me show you this real quick before we move back. I'm trying to give you some good information that will help sustain you. If you never went for a Microsoft Project training course ever again, I at least want to make sure you have got this part down pat so that you're not confused. All right? Okay. Let's go to the 7 rules for Microsoft Project. 7 things you absolutely want to do. I call these do's and don'ts.